All right. Fantastic. Okay, so we are live. Sorry, looking at both cameras here. So welcome everyone on YouTube and on Zoom. My name is Chrisa, and I'm the founder and teacher of Bautanz, Constructing Dance. If you have the Zoom link, you're probably in the Bautanz family. If you're joining us through YouTube, you might just be passing by, wondering what this workshop is going to be about. So in either case, welcome. Some tidying up items, if you see me stopping at some point, is to let people on Zoom in. If you are coming on Zoom, please don't um, try to stay unmuted so it doesn't interrupt the session. And for both, you can send me your questions in the chat. So we can take questions as we are progressing with this session. So for today, what we are going to be working on is building our own practice. And there's going to be a section where we are doing this together. And there's going to be a section where there's going to be more talking. Before we start all of this, I want us to take a moment to get into the spirit of actually practicing. And my way of doing it is with a dance. So if you've been with us for some time, you know that we always start our sessions with a dance. The reason being, let me just move you guys there. Okay. Sorry about that. So the reason being is that I think that you're coming into this practice, maybe it's Saturday, you're thinking of all the things that you need to do during your day, or something that happened to work yesterday. You need a moment to get into this spirit of, this is my time, and I'm going to dedicate it to practicing and enjoying this time that I have for myself today. And so this is your preparation dance. And so I'm going to put some music on. If you don't like my music, you can mute me and put whatever music you like, because I'm not going to be giving you any cues here. So just enjoy. Let's put this one on.
Fui como una lluvia de cenizas y fatigas en las horas resignadas de tu vida. Gota de vinagre derramada, fatalmente derramada sobre todas tus heridas. Fuiste por mi culpa golondrina entre la nieve, rosa marchitada por la nube que no llueve. Fuimos la esperanza que no llega, que no alcanza, que no puede vislumbrar la tarde mansa. Fuimos el viajero que no implora, que no reza, que no llora, que se echó a morir. No comprendes que te estás matando, no comprendes que te estoy llamando. No me beses que te estoy llorando y quisiera no llorarte más. No ves, es mejor que mi dolor quede tirado con tu amor, liberado de mi amor final. No comprendes que te estoy salvando, no comprendes que te estás matando. No me sigas, ni me llames, ni me beses, ni me llores, ni me quieras más. dejado con tu amor, librado de mi amor final. No comprendes que te estoy salvando, tú no comprendes que te estoy amando. No me sigas, ni me llames, ni me beses, ni me llores, ni me quieras
Pausing. Okay, there we go. Pause. All right. So, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. And what we're going to start with today is a little bit of a mindset, and then we're going to go into another dance, which will be slightly different from your prep dance. When we enter our practice, maybe you have something set from your teacher. For example, you went to the class, you were working on something specific, and at the end of the class, the teacher said, "Okay, the exercises, the drills that we did, do them at home for next week." Something like that. So you have something specific that you know that you need to work on. Great. Or maybe you know you want to work on posture, and you go online and you Google, and there are many, many, many videos on posture that you can find. And now you have a lot of exercises that you can do. But before we get into this question of, oh, what should I do, which is usually the first question, the very first thing that we need to do is open up our mind to change. And what I mean to say by this, sometimes we get into our practice just to thinking that, oh, if I do this a million times, it will stick. And yes, that is partly true. But the thing is, you will get there faster. You will most likely get more discoveries and enhance your dance further. And the practice will be more enjoyable if you come into the practice thinking that this is another opportunity for me to change things. So we're coming in with the mind more open to change, not with a mind, I know what I need to do, I just need to do it a million times. So let's set up a theme, and I'm just gonna choose a theme for you, but you can choose whichever theme you want. Let's pick the theme of posture, generally speaking. I'm going to put another song on, and as you are moving with the music, try to notice things about your posture. When I'm saying things, is usually we come in with a mindset of, oh, let me notice where I'm creating tension, or when I'm losing my posture, or when something bad happens. But no, you want to notice your posture through the dance. You want to open up your mind to how your body is as you're moving through. Not just the bad stuff, the good stuff as well. When things feel good. And of course, when things feel not so good, uncomfortable. Not necessarily with pain, but with maybe some mild discomfort. When you're holding your breath, or when things are just flowing and you are fully enjoying it. You want to grab as many information as you can, so that then we can start asking questions and open up the windows of change. So let's go. Let's put another song on, and with the theme of, I say posture, you can choose whichever theme you want. You don't need to choose my theme, but just to have an example to reference. Here we go.
todo te había dado, la ilusión que no se alcanza, la canción de mi pasado. Todo lo más mío para ahogar con esperanza los rincones de tu hastío. Nadie puede, nadie nunca darse tanto y tanto cuando un lirio se le trunca. Nadie puede y sin embargo en la cruz de tu letargo te di mi amor. Y así el amor, copa de luz, llena de alcohol, llena de azul, vino otra vez con sus canciones para llenarnos de ilusiones. Y así el amor, flor de algodón, vino a cantar para los dos. Y todo fue dar en un día, todo el corazón. Y el amor, flor de algodón, vino a cantar para los dos. Y todo fue dar en un día, todo el corazón.
Okay. Pausing. All right. So, sorry, I noticed that my feet get cut out here a little bit. Let me reposition this camera. All right, there we go. So, that's it. So, the idea is that you start picking up cues, and you'll notice that this dance is very different from the prep dance. The prep dance, you go in, you start moving around, you start feeling the music, you're just enjoying it. You're not looking for cues. The second dance, you set up a theme, that's the theme for your practice, and then you start gently digging. And this is important because you're gonna start noticing things that make you feel very excited, very comfortable, very much enjoying your dance, and moments that you're feeling that something is going on. And we want to grab both of these and say, okay, what did I do at that moment when things felt like they were flowing effortlessly? And what happened in those moments that things were like tightening up and making me feel uncomfortable? And then when you get to that, you can start dissecting and saying, all right, let me zoom into that moment. So if we go with a theme of posture, but you can do this with any theme basically, then you choose the moment. And we're going to do two moments where there is usually some discomfort, and then we're going to carry on. So here we go. Moments of discomfort that I've noticed is when you're going from a normal side step, right? And let's do this together, forward and back, right? And you're okay. To steps that are small and quick. So let's do 4, forward and back, and let's change the size and the speed. So you have 1 and back, 2 and back, 3 and back, last one, 4 and back, and now quick. So suddenly you might be feeling that tightness, that there is a disruption of this comfort. Let's do it again one more time. And this time, notice your whole body, how it's going from, how it's moving when you're doing option 1 compared to when we switch to the smaller and faster steps. So here we go. Forward and And maybe we slow it down a little bit. And you start to notice all the teeny tiny movements that happen. Forward and back. Forward and back. I think we have one more. Forward and here we go. Quick, 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 quick. So one thing to notice, if you do this a couple of times, and we are going to do it a couple of times, one thing to notice is that the body, it would be very easy if we said, hold your body in one position and then just move the feet. But if you try to do that, then things get very uncomfortable. So instead, you will notice that there are tiny movements that are happening. And if you have been following Bautanz for some time, you know what those tiny movements are. So when we restrict those tiny movements, then things start becoming uncomfortable. So I'm going to put a song on just for it to be accompanying us. And I want you to notice those tiny movements. Go from normal size steps, not too big, normal size steps, forward, back, to the side, it doesn't matter, to smaller and faster. And notice what you usually do. Usually we tighten up when the smaller, faster happen. Try to see if you can bring in some of the qualities of the normal size step into the smaller and faster steps and see what happens. Let's see. I want, yeah, let's do, let me see. So then you start to, so what did we do? We had our prep dance. We just got into the mood. Then we had a dance on the theme. We started picking up moments that things felt good and things felt not so good. And then from those moments, we started picking out and saying, uh, for example, in the theme of posture, it felt really good when I was doing normal size steps, but it felt a little bit uncomfortable when I started doing smaller, tighter steps. Let's put those two things under the microscope and start working. So you see how you go from something that's very broad, posture, to something that's specific. And now you're actually looking at normal size steps versus smaller size, quicker steps. So this is what you need to do if you want a practice that doesn't make you feel lost and always feeling that you need someone to tell you, okay, now do this and then do that. Because now you have this specific theme and you can start choosing um, uh, uh, videos or exercises that have to do with this specific thing, meaning posture and walking. So, and even more specifically, normal size steps versus smaller steps. And then you can take it down to just smaller size steps that go a little bit faster. So you're being very specific in order to be able to start building something that is unique to you, that responds to your needs, which you identified in your dance, and that you have control over, because this is also very important. You need to be able to control it if it's something that you're going to be building on the side on your own. Of course, you can always reach out to your teachers and say, oh, I did this and this is how it worked out. Okay, so let's pick one drill because we're running out of time. So let's pick one drill that we can do for normal size versus smaller size, quicker steps. And to see, yeah, let me go this way. All right. So, no, actually, I'm gonna go this way. So, if you were here with me the last couple months, you remember that we were talking about this, the body moving not in straight lines and squareness, but constantly adjusting and playing with these curves that we have as a structure. So as a structure, we have curves, lines that run like this, that wrap around like this. Our pelvis is like a bull and it's sitting on top, like the hip bones that are also like in the cavity and ball association. So we have to see how we can make these volumes work for us. So let's start with the smallest step you can actually make. And this is going from 2 feet to 1 foot. So start finding where your body needs to be in order for this shift of weight to have a flow and feel comfortable, to not impede on your breathing, and to make you feel that you're ready to move, because this is important when you want to make, especially when you want to make a quick change in direction. So let's try different things. If you're used to this upright position, you will notice, do this with me, just start noticing things, what is happening. If you want to take a forward step, you're going to feel your whole core tightening up. Okay. So notice how this feels. Okay. Now, let's pick another position. And you start playing. That's why I said you have to be open to change. Or what's the point of practicing? Can we find a position that would allow us to go from here to here faster, but without feeling like everything is tightening up? So let's see. If you start letting go of a few things, but not relaxing, seeing as you go from one foot to the other, how your body adjusts. And this might take your whole practice, by the way, though that would be absolutely normal. So as you go from one foot to the other, try to notice how much flexion you need in your hips in order to actually have comfort in this shift of weight. And then where your body needs to be, the half upper, where your body needs to be in order to be comfortable in your breathing and feel that you don't need to tighten up, but you're not letting go. So you're somewhere in the sweet middle. So try to find that sweet middle. Okay, shake it off. Now go back to what you usually do. I'm gonna pick another option, another tango position. And do this here. More forward, more on the toes, more extension. Notice what happens here. Notice the back muscles. Notice how your whole body reacts to this change. And maybe here you can do the fast steps, but you would probably need to change this position a little bit. You'll have to create a transition to go to a normal size step. Especially going forward. Going back, things are a little bit easier. So you start noticing these things, right? Let's try together. Nothing will happen to you, don't worry. So when you're going forward, you'll notice there is more effort compared to when you're going back in a normal size step. And you also notice that the smaller the step, the easier this is. Okay, hold this in your mind. And now go back to this sweet spot. Hopefully you found a sweet spot where you have three qualities. One, you're in a position where you're not over engaging your muscles, doesn't need muscle over engagement, so you are relaxed. Two, you are ready to move. And three, you can breathe without your breath being inhibited, meaning that you have a comfortable flow in your breath. So it doesn't feel like you're holding your breath. Let's find that sweet spot. Allow for your body to change positions. Play, right? If you fall back, you know that, okay, this is relaxed, but I'm not ready to move. Okay, so play with positions as you're going from side to side. And you can do this, or you can understand you can do this for a very long time, going from what you usually do to something different that has these three qualities. relaxed, ready to move, comfortable breathing. And so, if we, hopefully you found it, you found the spot, notice where your weight is when you land on one foot. Notice. Not too far forward over the toes, not falling back over your heel. Your knee is soft, your hip is in flexion, and your body is slightly forward. And there is a little bit of a side reach and a little bit of a rotation. And this one hip is not exactly square with the other one. And you take a forward step. And then you do this a little bit more. And notice the quality of this movement. And forward, shift, shift, back, shift, shift, front, shift, shift. And try not to fall back to something that you're used to. We're looking for comfort and efficiency. Forward. And start to notice all these little movements that are happening in your body. So how you start to project, how your body adjusts over one leg in order to project over the other, for the other. How it is different going forward to going backwards. Back, shift, shift. Let's change sides. One more. Forward, shift, shift. Back, shift, shift. Front, shift, shift. Back, shift, shift. Front, shift, shift. Back. Let's do two more. And front. Still keep capturing. Keep noticing what is happening. And how can you hold on to this feeling of comfort and your whole body being involved. Shift, shift. So see how when you start to, let me come back closer to you. When you start asking questions, and the question would be, can I make this, I feel tightness, can I make this a little bit more comfortable? So now, on top of the theme, we had our theme, comfort, I'm comfortable when I'm doing normal size steps, but I lose that comfort when I'm doing smaller and quicker steps. On top of that, you start asking now questions. When I do normal size steps, I'm noticing that there are these adjustments. How can I bring them into my normal size steps, for example? Or when I'm in position, not having started my dance yet, I feel that I'm working too much, but I don't feel ready to move. I feel that I put so much effort in holding my position, but then somehow I need to let this go and start moving. How can I make this more efficient? Just a couple, just coming up with questions here, right? Under this same theme of posture and walking. So as you start with these questions, you start opening little windows of opportunity for change, and you start creating answers for yourself, responses. It's not going to be the ultimate answer, because someone might come in and say, oh, no, this is not the right answer. This is what you have to do, right? So someone might have a different response, but you start creating responses, and that creates options for change. So let's carry on with this theme. I'm going to put some music on in just a little bit, but just to enhance this drill. So this is what I want you to do. You start here from the smallest step possible, and we've already said, we've asked the question, how can I make this more efficient so that I am ready to move? I am not holding, I'm ready to move, and I'm comfortable breathing, and I feel that there is a flow to this movement. So it's not choppy. There is a flow. How can I do this? So you start playing with this. And then once you've found that sweet spot, you start going forward, shift, shift, back, shift, shift, front, shift, shift, back, shift, shift, front. We do 4. Hopefully you're doing this with me. Leading with the right leg. Last one. One, shift, shift, back. 3 shifts. 1, 2, 3, and go. Change sides. 1, shift, shift. And you see front and back. Last one. Front and back. And now change over to the other side, and you do this smaller and faster. And now with the left. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now with the right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Notice what happened. Are you back to and 2 and 3, 4? If so, take a moment. See, go back to this. Now we started identifying the problem. Let's see if we can create a response that is different and answers the question of, can I do this in a more comfortable, efficient way? So smaller steps might mean that we change how we distribute and transfer the weight. So let's try. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. One and 2 and 3 and 4. Notice that you are a little bit more forward, that your knees are a little bit more bent, and even though you might have been, you might be more used to going with a strong heel, this might become a limitation here. So our weight is a little bit more forward, more on the toes. Our knees are a little bit more bent. It's almost like we are running, but we're not. Our hips are a little bit more soft. And here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we're looking for the same elasticity, only smaller. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we're going to put the music on. Take your time to find that shift of weight and how your body adjusts. If you were with us last month, but you can also find this online, I used my little the skeleton that I have here to show that we are all a mass of curves. So you can't, the way that a curve moves is very different from the way that a straight line moves. And the connections that those curves create and how you stack one curve on top of the other is very different. When I would like to, therefore, since we're under this posture and walking thing, to propose a question. How can I move being more respectful of my curvy architecture? So try to embody this quality of curve that we have. It is us. It is human. That's my suggestion. You can play with it or absolutely or not if you decide not to. So here we go. Let's do this. Is it always going to be perfect? No, of course not. That's why we're practicing, because it's not perfect. And the truth is, there's no point of actually looking for perfection, because then, first of all, because it's probably a very difficult thing to get, but also it puts an end to this journey. So it is better to just look for just becoming better and feeling better when you're dancing. So that's the I think more attainable goal and more interesting also, because as you try new things, you feel different, and that's for me that's very nice. So you saw how we started noticing things that are making a difference. So then let's put a drill together, another drill together that that allows us to work more with where our weight is on our foot, in order to be able to make those changes from fast to slow, for big steps to small steps, a little bit easier. Meaning that when you are in the right place, you have more options, and you can react faster on the spot. So here we go. So with these same ideas in mind, meaning those three key elements: feeling relaxed, ready to move, not inhibiting your breathing pattern. Let's now take our focus to our feet. And remember when we were just doing the shift of weight from right to left, where I told you to take a moment and notice where your weight is over the 1 foot standing. So if you're falling back, if you're heavy on your heel, if you are really grabbing with the toes and really tightening up your toes, or if you are somewhere more in the middle, and if you need to hold on to something, please go ahead. We're going to be doing this. I'm going to shift over to you. You're going to shift a couple of times, and on the 4th time, you settle, and you start to swing forward and back. Forward and back. I don't care if this foot, where the other foot is, doesn't matter. But make sure that 1 foot has your whole weight. 2 4 forward. And you want to find, I'm going to tell you what you're looking for. You want to find a spot where you are you're not predetermining your direction. So if you go too far forward, you're predetermining your direction. You can see that I'm already going forward. That will be a lot of work to change and go back. If you are heavier on your heel, you can see I've already started the transfer before even extending the other leg to take a step back. So shift. Notice where your weight first lands. Shift, 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 and hold. Rock front, rock back, rock front, rock back. Identify, as you're rocking forward and back, identify the middle. Middle, back, middle, front, middle, back, middle, front, and now settle in the middle. Okay, and shift, shift, shift. Oh, yeah, 3 shifts, not 4. 3 shifts, here we go. Change over to the other foot, and rock forward, rock back, front, and back. And notice also how that changes the rest of your body, right? Now we're focusing on the where our weight is over our foot, but that has an effect on the rest of the body. Okay? And now keep rocking, but identify the middle. So your middle, front, middle, back, middle, front, middle, back, middle, front, middle, back, and now settle in the middle. Yes. and shift, shift, shift. And here we go. Maybe I'm going to stay like this. Front and back and front and back and front. And see, this at the same time is a balance exercise. Front and back and front. And now keep going forward and back, but identify middle, front, middle, back. Middle, front, middle, back. Middle, front, middle, back, and middle. And shift, shift. Last time, settle, and forward, and back, and forward, and back, forward, and back, and forward, and back, forward, and back, forward. Keep rocking, but identify the middle, front, middle, back, middle, front, middle, back, middle, front, middle, back, and find middle. And just go from side to side this time, but always try to hit that middle. Don't fall forward or back. And notice now that when you are over the middle of the foot, you're now open to options. You can go to the side, you can go to the front, you can go to the back. So it is very important to be able to be in this position where you haven't predetermined which direction you are going to go. So here, it can be anything. So find middle. This is adding to our drill, and let's do forward and back, normal size steps. Let's go, leading with the right. Forward, shift, back, shift. As you're shifting, you know you're gonna go forward, but let's not predetermine that. Pass from the middle and then go forward. Shift, back, shift, forward, shift, back, shift, forward, shift, back, shift, forward, shift, back, shift, forward, shift, back, change sides, lead with the left, forward, shift, pass from the middle, back, shift. Allow yourself the option. So when you're passing from here, you feel that I can do whatever I want. I can go back like I'm doing, but I can also change my mind and go forward, not shifting the weight, or go to the side, go somewhere else. Shift, back, shift, fold, shift, back, shift, fold, shift, back, change sides. We do 2 this speed, and then we speed it up. Forward, shift, back, 1 more, forward, shift, quick, we go. Quick, 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 quick. Notice when you're going quick that you're not always on your toes, because now you're falling forward, your partner will be carrying you around. You're still counterbalancing. So you are maybe a little bit more forward, but not all the way to the front. So that's why we did that drill. Let's go leading with the left. Forward and back. 1 more. Forward and quick. We go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. 1 more time. Right and back and front and back, quick, and quick, 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 quick. And now left, left, and back, and front, and quick. Go quick, 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 quick. So you see, the reason why we went in this way is, and of course you can keep adding and keep adding, but the reason why we went this way is for me to show you how you can build a practice based on your needs, based on what you feel that is missing, or that you feel that you need to enhance. You have something good, but you feel that I want to make it even better. So how do we do that? And how we do that is we need, first of all, to identify the theme, identify where the problem is, and start creating questions. And the reason I'm saying creating is that the questions are going to reflect what you need. It's not going to be a question posed by your teacher or myself. And that's where that's the way I found in picking up leads for those questions is through those first prep dances. So you have a theme, then you start to narrow it down, identifying, picking up cues that come from your body, things that are working and things that are not feeling so good. Then you narrow it down even more by start asking questions. How can I make this? And try to be with your questions as specific as possible. It feels uncomfortable when I'm going in back steps and going fast. I feel a tightness in my whole body. I feel like I'm falling back. How can I make this? How can I be more in control of my weight transfer? How can I make this more efficient, more comfortable? So avoid questions that are general, like how can I make this better? Well, obviously you're here to make it better, or you're not here to make it worse. So avoid questions like that because they're not helpful. Better is good, generally speaking, but you want to be specific. How can I make this more? What is it that you're really looking for? And then you start playing and you start exploring. You start changing things and looking for things that work and things that do not work. And just to close, to bring this to a close, the great thing about this is that, of course, it's unique to you, but also you have very specific things to go and ask your teacher afterwards. You will tell them that, okay, I did X, Y, Z in the beginning because when I'm dancing, I feel like this. And you tell them how it feels. I feel like this. And so I went and I did this drill and I focused on X, Y, and Z. And then at the end, I felt like that. Can you help me? Can you provide any feedback? And it will be so much easier for them to based on what you say and seeing you, of course, to tell you what you need to add, what you need to maybe you didn't capture it correctly, or give you some thoughts for themselves, or tell you, okay, this looks like it's working. How about you also try this? So it's specific, and that allows the other person to give you good quality feedback that you can then take and apply them to your next practice, and so on and so forth. So I know that this was a lot more talking than usual. I hope that you enjoyed it. You can, I need to say it, you can find all of these tips and a lot of drills in It Takes You to Tango. It is a guide that I've prepared just for this. And I will be putting all of this together. This is what I will be doing. I will be putting all of this together and sharing it, sharing the recording on YouTube so you can see and come back to it as many times as you need to. And I'm going to invite you to the Bautanz community if you're not a follower, because that's where I share a lot of these things. So join us at Bautanz Constructing Dance. Stay tuned for the recording and check out It Takes You to Tango. I think you will enjoy it very, very much. Bye-bye. Till next time.